Hi guys! Today I'll tell you as briefly as possible, but guaranteed to be clear, how to level up correctly and efficiently in Season 12 or any other Diablo 4 season. I'll go step by step and in detail, but compact. What to do, what to look for at each stage, when to do which activity, what to skip, what to react to, solo or party, and other attempts to cover the uncovers in minimum time. New Off welcomes you, and let's get straight to it. In Season 12, the rules changed a bit. That is, previously, even after the final patch note before a season launch, you had to wait a couple of weeks for the meta to settle. But not in Season 12. The picture is somewhat different now because the season serves as a testing ground for some mechanics of the upcoming April 28th global update, and for this reason there won't be any radical changes in it. And if there are no radical changes, then there will be no radical changes to builds either. Which means that overall, aside from a small pool of new unique items, builds can be predicted quite easily. We start by creating a new character not based on the meta or who you think will be the strongest in the season, but the one you like. If you don't mind starting with a sorceress or rogue, watch this part. If you plan to play any other class, jump to the next section using the timestamp. So, follow the links in the description for the starter build. There will be links to planners and guides below. I recommend starting with a Hydra build on sorceress or a Dance of Knives build on rogue. Yes, in the new Season 12, I decided to play on rogue. Why? Because as I said above, the meta doesn't change in Season 12 and builds from Season 11 will be played with minor adjustments. Everything is already ready for sorceress. I played her for 3 full seasons and I want to try something new for myself. Rogue has the most convenient starting build, no question about it, which is Dance of Knives. And for sorceress, it's Hydra. Why do I recommend Hydra? Because it's the least demanding and fastest build for starting the leveling process on this class. You might not know that the starter build and the late game build can be different. Well, I'm telling you, they not only can be different, but they almost always are. Why? Because when leveling from 0 to Torment 1, you need the most convenient build. And attention, if you didn't know or forgot, playing on a starter build until T1 is only a few hours of gameplay. And from Torment 1 onwards, you need the most effective build. Switching to another build after reaching T1 is no harder than developing your current starter build on any class. But since this current guide is about proper and fast leveling, not about specific builds, I'll summarize. I'm offering you links in the description to starter builds for Sorceress and Rogue. These builds also have, or will already have by the time you watch this video, continuations for T1 and beyond, up to the strongest Season 12 builds, including the new unique items. In any case, I will guide you through all the steps of this season in the planner for these two classes. There's already a starter guide for Sorceress, the starter leveling guide for Rogue will be released in the next video, and there will also be a full breakdown for Rogue covering late game versions of several builds. Oh, one more thing. In the footage, both Sorc and Rogue are used, but the Sorc is well geared, while the Rogue only has starter gear and low glyphs. Keep that in mind and don't jump to conclusions. Now let's get into leveling and its details. We start by setting the very first difficulty, normal. If you've heard somewhere that higher difficulties give more experience, forget it, that's nonsense. Experience is about the speed of clearing areas, nothing else. There are no options here. Either you set the difficulty higher than normal and watch others level their characters while you stroke your ego, or you play on normal until about level 45. If you like the campaign, play through it right from the very first level. Just play, everything will work out, as the game will guide you through the quest chain. If you don't like the campaign, skip it, because the campaign can be skipped in the character creation menu. So, you've created a character, skip the campaign during creation if needed. Your first action after loading into the game is to get a pet, so someone can collect resources and gold for you. It's located in this tab, and the simplest pet is available by default for all players. Step 2. Hire a mercenary in the den in Nahantu if you've done the quest. Complete it if you're playing for the first time. The quest becomes available at level 15. Yes, just to clarify, if you don't have the first expansion, Vessel of Hatred, not the new expansion coming out April 28th, but the one that came out a year and a half ago, then mercenaries and runes, as well as the Nahantu region, are unavailable to you. In the mercenary den, take Subo as your main mercenary. He'll highlight monsters on the map. As your second, take Variana to increase attack speed. Or take Rahar in the reinforcement slot. He helps deal with crowd control effects. In any case, the recommended mercenaries with their skills are usually indicated in the planner you're using for leveling. About the seasonal journey. Next, keep the main thing in mind. We need to follow the chapters of the seasonal journey. These chapters are a priority, along with the seasonal theme, which I'll mention a bit later. Among the regular rewards of each chapter that don't give much, it's important for us to quickly complete those tasks that give additional skill points. I'm showing you the seasonal journey from the previous season. In the new journey, some tasks will be different, but the principle of awarding skill points and paragon points for the chapters of the seasonal journey will now always be there. As a reminder, starting last season, Blizzard removed the renown system with Lilith altars and the renown system itself and distributed all the significant rewards from them into the seasonal journey. You can forget about Lilith altars, they now give insignificant rewards that you can easily do without, even at the very beginning of the game. Seasonal quests. Next, the priority in this, as in any other season up to the current one, is the storyline quests of the season itself. Seasonal quests are marked with a leaf. Do these chains first. Got it? All quests marked with a leaf are priority number 1, and alongside them, the chapters of the seasonal journey. In some seasons, seasonal powers enhance the character significantly. In others, they are just minor bonuses, but in any case, the sooner we start progressing along the seasonal chain, the better. Priority quests. Priority quests are marked in purple. They shouldn't be ignored. For example, somewhere around level 30 or 40, you'll get a quest for bartering in the mercenary den. This is where you can exchange mercenary points for items or chests with materials or aspects. The problem is that these rewards quickly lose value as you level and become almost useless after Torment 1. The same story applies to rewards from the seasonal journey and seasonal reputation. Yes, for all these activities, the rewards are separate and they all quickly lose their value as you progress. So anyway, you've done a few quests and reached level 15. After this, a quest for class specialization will appear. It's different for each class, and if you're playing your current class for the first time, you'll need to complete this quest. Although Blizzard mentioned removing these quests, but that's not certain. They say a lot of things and not all of them actually happen. Sometimes they say nothing and it turns out to be a useful improvement. I'm not criticizing them at all, just keeping you informed. Strongholds. Do strongholds when you've leveled up a bit, but before level 60, because after that, the experience for them will be negligible. The thing is, the experience for strongholds is the same at all difficulty levels, and initially this experience is significant for a level 20 or 30 character, but almost unnoticeable for more leveled characters. Since the experience is the same at any difficulty, do them on normal. You need to unlock almost all of them because Legion events appear on their territories, and some dungeons with aspects and world bosses are also located in stronghold territories. Sometimes strongholds glitch or the order of actions there isn't obvious. There's a guide on the channel for them. Elixirs won't be available from the very beginning. Starting around level 10, they start dropping, and the ability to craft them appears. So at the very start of leveling, you can and should gather some herbs to craft them. After around level 50, besides elixirs, some essences become available. All magical elixirs are available around level 55, and all 3 types of essences closer to level 60. Use them constantly as they become available. Remember, an elixir and 1 type of essence stack their experience bonus, so at level 60, all improved elixirs and all 3 types of essences are available. From then on, you can and should ensure that all 4 buffs from them are always active. Also, wells in nightmare dungeons give a significant experience bonus. To guarantee finding a well, the sigil needs to have the Forgotten Wisdom affix, but a well can be in any other ND, regardless of the sigil affix, but though rarely. This experience bonus is given for 1 hour and noticeably speeds up progress. In total, we have 8% bonus from elixir, plus 5 from incense, plus 15 from the well, totaling 28% experience boost. I won't bore you with details about what's additive, what's multiplicative, and what works correctly. The main thing is to keep the bonuses active. Now about the leveling locations themselves. If you want to level up quickly, Helltide is your path. This is a universal leveling method in general until level 60. But Kurast and starter compasses for the Horde with 4 waves are also suitable. Don't fixate on just one thing. The main goal in Helltide is to collect cinders and open chests. If you know nothing about the game, I recommend watching videos from the Diablo 4 core playlist. Don't delve into other playlists until you understand the basic things. An abundance of details at the start of the game is not beneficial. Scared? Don't be. Diablo 4 is a casual game. So, do the following. Get aspects for your build from dungeons. Seasonal quests, Legion, World Boss, Tree of Whispers bounties in Helltide, Kurast, Horde. At level 40 to 45, unlock all strongholds after getting the first aspects and the build in general terms. That's it, a few hours of gameplay and you're level 60. Still unclear? That's normal. I'll explain everything further, and it will all fall into place. And when you watch the upcoming starter build guide, everything will be even clearer. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, or you might miss something valuable. Considering the theme of Season 12, the most profitable leveling location will most likely be the Horde. But don't focus on just one thing. Remember, the main goal is to have fun, not to get stuck in one activity. If you're stuck in the Horde for a quick level up, you won't see anything else. As I mentioned earlier, start on normal as you level up, increase the difficulty to hard, but not before character level 45. You should be killing mobs effortlessly, so they barely affect your movement speed. Gear. Don't pay any attention to white and blue items. Don't waste time constantly re-evaluating them. These items become obsolete every 5 minutes of gameplay. After about level 15, yellow items start dropping. Same story here. Yellow items have one more stat than blue ones, and they become obsolete in 10 minutes of gameplay instead of 5. That's the only difference. Don't roll blue and yellow items at the blacksmith or occultist. Although the option exists, there's no point. Later, around level 30 plus legendary items start dropping. But don't think that finally you have legendaries. They also become obsolete very quickly. Endgame legendaries are item power 800 with 1 or more stars. The only thing that will be useful after getting legendaries of level 500 and above, and it costs almost nothing, is that on boots and amulet you should have a movement speed bonus. This is rolled at the occultist. But the challenge here is not to lose these movement speed bonuses as well as the key aspects of your build while frequently changing gear. Aspects. The mechanic of Diablo 4 is such that the very first few aspects for any class are obtained immediately in the first levels of the character in Nightmare dungeons. The dungeon, of course, isn't Nightmare yet, just a regular one, but you'll still get the aspect from it. Which aspects, where and how to get them, look in the guide or planner you're using. An aspect can be applied not only on a legendary, but also on a rare item. However, the item will become legendary, but the number and size of stats will remain the same as they were on the yellow one, solo or party. Here's an important rule. Remember, when in a party, you must first accept the invitation to start the activity, no matter what activity it is, and only then sort through your loot or leave the party. Got it? This is important. From being in a party, generally in the whole Diablo 4, the profit is purely on paper. It's 5% experience, while mobs have up to 100% increased HP for each player in the group. That's a fact. At the beginning, it makes sense to play in a party for the Infernal Horde, Nightmare Dungeons, and Crest. Initially, few compasses drop, and if you have 1 plus 3 others with compasses, that's 4 times you can run the Horde. Same applies to tributes in Kurast and sigils in Nightmare Dungeons. All this good stuff works for all group members. You can look for a party in the game interface or try to find one on Discord or in a clan. Keep in mind, I'm looking at this from the perspective of efficiency and maximum effectiveness. But in practice, most players just want to have fun and play in a group without worrying about anything else besides the entertainment. Don't hoard compasses for the Infernal Horde. Later, you won't know what to do with them. This is just advice for Torment 1 and beyond. Don't hoard Nightmare Dungeon sigils or Kurast tributes either. There's no shortage of any of this in the game. Activities. Try to diversify your gameplay. Getting stuck in one place, even if it's the most profitable for experience, is a mistake in my opinion. By fixating on one thing, the game will bore you. And besides, you won't get all the necessary resources for crafting. I know what I'm talking about as I've been making videos for several seasons on what and where is most effective to farm. So you won't believe it, but it's a fact. Where is everything effective to farm? Everywhere. It sounds strange, but it's a fact. To have everything, you need to play all activities. Each of them is best suited for something specific. Argue if you want, but I've told you how it is. There's a link to a table in the description for what to farm where. Current data for the current season will be there too, over time, but provided that resources represent some kind of value. In Season 10, that wasn't the case, and in Season 11, it definitely wasn't. Resources dropped like trash, everywhere and anywhere in insane quantities. How it will be in Season 12 and beyond, time will tell. Briefly, where you can go. World bosses appear every 2 or 3 hours depending on the season, and you shouldn't miss them. If the Legion and world boss times coincide, go to the boss without thinking. The reward there is quite decent and varied, and the bosses themselves aren't dangerous. Legion. It's important at the very beginning of leveling for several reasons. First, there's a bonfire that increases your experience by up to 15% for 15 minutes just until the next Legion. Second, there's a crowd of people, and you don't need to be well geared. The crowd will kill all the mobs. Third, there's decent loot for the start of the game. but later you'll still need to visit it for Forgotten Souls if they, as I mentioned earlier, regain the value they lost in Season 11. Nightmare dungeons are available from the very start of the game, but not as nightmare versions, just regular ones. While they're regular, you'll only need to go there for aspects for your start build. Go to the Codex of Power, find the aspect via search, and left-click to plot a path to the dungeon. After obtaining the aspect at the Occultist, you can imprint it not only on a legendary, but also on a rare item. When the nightmare versions of dungeons become available to you, they turn into quite a full-fledged gameplay experience. For how they've been updated and what to do there, watch a separate video, again in the D4 Basics playlist. Kurast Undercity. Tributes for the Undercity start dropping around level 20 to 25. These are starter tributes. Don't hoard them as they'll devalue. To unlock the Kurast Undercity, you need to reach character level 15 and complete the priority quest, which is called the Kurast Undercity. This activity is good for farming runes and keys for Uber bosses. There are also a couple of short videos explaining everything in the same Diablo 4 core playlist. The Tree of Whispers is done alongside farming Helltide or seasonal content. Just keep in mind the bounties present in the area where you're leveling, or it might even be a reason to go to Kurast or visit the Horde since there's a bounty there too. Even at the very beginning, the Whisper Cache drops loot that's quite relevant for that world tier and difficulty. Also, after T1, the normal version of the Infernal Horde becomes available. The Horde is one of the best places for farming experience. If you die in the Horde, don't revive yourself, wait for someone to pick you up. The death counter is shared for the whole group. If you revive yourself, you'll leave the whole group without loot, or you'll get kicked. The pit is also not a place to sit in non-stop. The experience there is mediocre now, the loot is so-so, and there are no key resources. For some unknown reason, Blizzard destroyed the pit as a convenient place for leveling and farming, and now it's only needed for leveling Paragon glyphs. Don't hoard keys for Ubers. Start using them as soon as you get them, because you need unique items. Don't wait until T4 to start farming Ubers. In that case, the time to farm them for you personally may never come. All key uniques for any build in the game are obtained from Ubers, and if you're saving keys for them to get more loot at the next difficulty, you're depriving yourself of the opportunity to become stronger here and now. After level 60, choose the world difficulty by doing the pit. That is, the pit tier that you can clear solo in 2 minutes is our target difficulty for farming. This holds true for all leveling. Don't move to the next world tier if the corresponding pit tier takes you 4 or more minutes to clear. The capstone dungeons, which were removed after the game's release, have been reintroduced and need to be completed to unlock the next difficulty level. But the pit, as a measure of the optimal difficulty level, hasn't gone away. Remember the main commandment: you shouldn't be fighting mobs, you should be killing them. Got it? Nod if yes. After T1, all the necessary unique items for your build can be obtained in any activity. Understand? Not in just one, but in any. Another question is that targeted farming of legendaries is most effective at Uber bosses. Each Uber boss has its own list of legendaries. Check which ones drop from which in your build guide. But generally speaking, while you don't have keys for Ubers, any legendary can drop anywhere starting from the very first difficulties like hard. Another issue is that these are often useless uniques from the general pool for all classes and are only good for resources. But nevertheless, I'm keeping you informed. Level your Paragon according to the build. The goal: get all 5 boards with the required glyphs in the required boards. Glyphs increase their radius twice at level 16 and level 46. Don't pay attention to the secondary lower additional bonuses from rare Paragon nodes until Paragon 200 to 250. Paragon glyphs themselves start dropping after T1 everywhere. Mythics now drop not only from Uber bosses. Personally, in Season 10, I got 7 uniques not from Ubers. That was the beginning of them dropping anywhere. And the best part is that I got them from all activities, 1 each. In Season 11, Mythics completely lost any value due to their industrial scale drop rate. How it will be in Season 12, we'll see. So the main points step by step. Start on normal. Get your pet immediately as your first action in the game. Hire mercenaries right from the start. Farm basic aspects through dungeons indicated in the guide. Along the way, gather some herbs occasionally. At the start of the game, you'll be short on elixirs. Regardless of the season theme, complete seasonal quests first. This is the top priority. All loot in the first 20 hours of gameplay is highly temporary. Don't waste time on detailed comparisons. Do Legion events on cooldown. They offer experience and loot. Don't miss world bosses. Clear strongholds on normal around character level 40. Don't hoard seasonal rewards from the reputation board or mercenary coins. They quickly lose value and are only relevant at low levels. Prioritize the season journey chapters for skill and paragon rewards. Make sure you don't lose the necessary aspects for your build when changing gear frequently. At level 15, class specialization will unlock, either automatically or through a quest. The menu is opened with the S key. Around level 40, you unlock mercenary barter. Stay on normal until level 45 because, as I said earlier, you shouldn't be fighting mobs, you should be killing them. Use elixirs and essences constantly. Don't forget about wells in nightmare dungeons. Run the Kurest Undercity as you get tributes and nightmare dungeons as you get sigils. Tree of Whispers. If you see an active bounty, do it. Don't invent your own build. Use a proven one. If you invent your own, you're doomed. Don't stay in one activity too long. Don't waste resources on items below 500 item power. Items at 750 can be tempered, but it's not worth fully investing in masterworking them until item power 800. To reach level 60, proceed in order: aspects in dungeons, legion, world boss, helltide, and seasonal activity. After reaching T1, play all activities. Have questions? Watch the guides in the Game Basics playlist. That's all about fast and painless leveling. I hope I didn't forget anything. If I forgot something, write a comment. If I didn't forget, write that I did a good job. I'd appreciate a like and a sub. Thanks for watching. Bye.